Hello, welcome back to my channel. It is so weird to say that. I am so grateful that you clicked on this video, and I really hope that I can provide you some helpful tips and just kind of like talk about things that have helped me, and hopefully they will also help you. I'm filming on an iPhone, so I can't see myself and I can't tell if it's focused, so I kind of have to like guess and hope. Anyway, someday I'll get a camera very soon, but not right now. I'm going to be talking about 5 ways that I prioritize my well-being during the week. And this is like while being a mom and working and having a relationship and friends and different things that you need, events that you need to go to. So this is all including that. These are the 5 ways that I prioritize my well-being during the week as a mom. I always have a hobby / workout every week that I do at least 1 to 2 times a week, just so I can feel like an individual. I can have an identity outside of being a mom or a career person or whatever. It's really important to fill your cup up first in order to be able to fill other people's cups up. And so I've learned this definitely the hard way. There's been times where I wasn't doing this, and I really see the difference in just how I am as a person. Workout that I'm doing right now, which is like the one I do the most, is pole dancing. So I go to a studio and I go to classes and I practice pole, and I have like my friends and my community there. And so it's really great just to be able to dedicate an hour even, or an hour 2 different days to something specific that's outside of your job of being a mom, having a business, having a job, taking care of the house, all of that. Even like being a partner to someone, you have to have something that's for yourself outside of the house. It's just, you're going to be such a better person for it. And your partner's going to thank you, your children are going to thank you, everyone in your life is going to thank you. It really does make a difference. Even if it's just 1 to 2 times a week. If that's all you have because you're so busy, you're running a house, you're running a business, you have children, if you can only go do a hobby like once a week, that's fine. At least it's something, and you're getting out of the house and you're remembering that you are a person, you're a human outside of all these other roles that and are very important to you. But sometimes you just need to remember that like you have your own identity, and you have your own things that you enjoy. So if I don't go to pole, then sometimes I go to yoga classes. Sometimes I do boxing. Sometimes I go on a run if I feel like I need some cardio. The hobby can be anything. It can be going to pottery classes. It can be gardening. It can be like weekly event with friends or something, going to see a movie. Just make sure you do something by yourself, not with your partner, not with your children, by yourself as an individual. That will totally help in just your overall well-being as a person. And some weeks, it's definitely hard to push myself. I definitely skip classes. I definitely skip weeks where I'm feeling a lot of overwhelm, or my mental health is kind of plummeting, or I'm feeling very exhausted. Obviously, being a mom, it can be very exhausting, and sometimes you don't get the best sleep, and there's no way to really plan around that. And so you just have to be gracious with yourself and know that not every week is going to be the same, and just kind of go with the flow. So if maybe you usually go Mondays, maybe if that day you're really tired because you didn't get enough sleep, because your child woke you up in the middle of the night or something, then that's okay. Take the day off. Maybe try going in like on Thursday or something. So you don't have to have like a strict schedule, but just make sure you get out of the house and do something once a week. Number 2 that I prioritize every week is nutrition. So this is huge, and I'm definitely going to be doing a ton of videos on this and why It's so important, and the impact that it's had on me and my life and my mental health and just my overall well-being. But this is definitely something that I prioritize, and I really, really encourage you to prioritize as well. Nutrition and making sure that I'm overall eating healthy, relatively eating healthy on a daily basis is a non-negotiable. And of course, I'm not perfect and I slip up all the time, but the most important is that you get back up and you do it again and you continue to be healthy and make those healthy choices. And that's just, we're human, we're not going to be perfect. Life throws us curveballs all the time, and that might be the weeks where you don't want to cook and you just want to eat out and you want comfort food and you want that extra bowl of ice cream, and that's fine, but just know that it's not sustainable to feel your best and at your most optimal level. So it's really important to get back to your nutrition and your healthy eating every single week. So the food that you put in your body is so, so important. And from personal experience, I know the difference eating unhealthy versus eating healthy. And it's insane how big of a difference it makes in your mental health. Depending on what food I eat, it's the difference between me having depression and not having depression, or having anxiety and not having anxiety. It's that big of an impact on my life. And so that's something that I definitely prioritize every single week. It affects you every single day, every single week. It affects you in the energy you have, the motivation you have to do your business, the playfulness you can be with your children, how much laughter you can do. It really affects everything. At least for me personally, it's really affected me. So my body is very, very sensitive. And so if I'm not eating nutritious, I am like a shell of a person. So making sure that you're eating consistently, healthy meals, vegetables, fruit, whole grains, protein, very high protein is really important. I found that is actually so key in feeling your greatest. I make sure that it's kind of like an 80-20 thing where I eat 80% of what I eat is healthy and whole foods and not processed. But then 20% I leave to having like processed foods and dessert and sugar and things like that. But even when I'm eating those things, I still try to grab things that are made with better ingredients. So it's not going to be perfect, but maybe instead of eating dairy ice cream, I might pick up some non-dairy ice cream that has low sugar or almost no sugar. I love ice cream. I love chocolate. I love dessert. I love sugar. And so this is really hard for me, but it's been something that it's a non-negotiable for me, because if I start eating sugar, I start eating lots of desserts and like processed food and refined flour and things like that, it's just not good. I feel worse. I have low energy. I start to have depression, and it's just not good. So food is so, so important every single week. Third one I want to talk about is supplements. So I have to take, it kind of goes with food, but I have to take supplements like every single day. And of course, like I said, for the other two, that every day is not perfect. I definitely don't take my supplements every single day, every single week. I'm probably going to be doing a video about supplements another time, just because it's such a huge part of my life and it's something that has really, really helped me with my mental health and just my overall feeling. I'm probably going to go more into detail of like the supplements I take and my routine and kind of my story behind that. So, of course, this is not medical advice. I feel like I have to say that. I have to put that out there. This is not medical advice. I'm not a medical person. This is just my own experience. And I have gone and seen a functional doctor on my own who tested me and did like tons and tons and tons of lab work. And we kind of figured out what vitamins my specific body needs. And so that's kind of what I go off of now. So I know what my body needs, what it's more lacking most of the time, or what kinds of food is harder for me to eat. And so I supplement then with those vitamins. But make sure you go and either see a functional doctor or you do your own research to make sure that you are not putting like too much vitamins in your body, because that can also be unhealthy as well. So, fourth way that I prioritize my well being every single week as a mom is I make sure that I have some sort of time to myself to connect to like my inner self. So, that can be through meditation, through breath work, yoga, journaling, reading, maybe like a certain spiritual book or something like that. I always need that in order to just be like a present person. If I'm just going through the motions and I'm getting up and I'm getting ready and I'm rushing off to this and I'm doing this with my kid, I'm going to this event and I'm doing this meeting and I have this thing to do, like, and I'm not checking in with myself, it starts to build up. You might not feel it at first, but it can be really sneaky, especially if you're like a professional suppressor of emotions, which I am. I will suppress emotions and not even know that I'm suppressing. So, in order to stay aware and healthy in that way, mentally and in my body, I have to have time to myself to connect to myself and connect to those emotions that are going on in my body that I might not be aware are there. Honestly, like my most ideal morning day is getting up, having a slow morning, doing my meditation, having breath work, all these things. And as a mom, that is just not realistic. It's just not realistic every single day. Some days I am able to do it. And if you have help, that's also something that you can work out with like your partner, or if you're with family, or maybe they can help watch your child or your children while you kind of sneak off and have some time to yourself. But not every morning is ideal like that. And it's just something that I've had to really accept as a mom. And it's been hard because it's something that I really enjoy and something that I really need. But I also need to adapt to this new lifestyle as being a mom. And so you just kind of have to be a little bit creative if you're a mom and you're juggling a lot. It varies what I do, but as long as I find some sort of stillness in my day, and stillness can look different for everyone. So for me, stillness is having a quiet space, meditation music, meditating, going inward, maybe some moving, but stillness can be different for everyone. So you can find stillness while you're driving your car. You can find stillness while you're hiking, while you're working out. If you like to go on runs, you can maybe find stillness there. So it's just wherever you can connect to your inner self and like your inner emotions and feelings. Also, I want to talk about how important it is to demonstrate this to your kids. Like I said before, it's not always ideal to be able to incorporate this into my everyday morning routine, but sometimes it's actually really beneficial for your kids to see you doing this and even participate with you. And so there's been times when I call it like mommy time. And I tell my 3-year-old son, I say, hey, I need to have some mommy time. Like, and he eats his breakfast and he knows that I need to be in my room, reading, meditating, things like that. And sometimes he's fine, he does his own thing, but sometimes your kids are more, they want to be around you that day. They don't want to like be separated from you. They want to hang out with you. And so those days I have had him come in with me and join me, and it's actually been really, really special. And I'm noticing that how powerful it can be to show your kids how to regulate their emotions and prioritize that time with themselves every single day. You're setting an example for your kids on how to prioritize yourself and connect to yourself. And it's such a gift that you're giving them to show that to them and incorporate that into your life and their life. And also even you getting away and having mommy time or whatever. It's showing them that it's important to prioritize themselves as well, and that it's okay to not have to be everything for everyone, that you can take time for yourself and it's actually healthy to do so. A really beautiful experience to have with your child, and no matter what, you are setting such a great positive example for them when they grow up. So it's just going to be like a natural part of their life to be able to incorporate this stuff into their life, because they're going to grow up seeing it being prioritized. They're going to grow up seeing you prioritizing it in your life. This is what you do to take care of your mental well-being, your wellness, your health, your overall just state of wellness. Okay, so number 5 I want to talk about is try to do some sort of movement, and particularly somatic movement. So I talked a little bit about this earlier, about somatic movement and embodiment dancing. Somatic movement is when you're moving with like a full body awareness. So it's more about your experience internally than it is with your experience physically. So it's a lot about releasing emotions that are stuck inside you. You need movement and to kind of like get energy out of you, or else that stagnant energy is going to turn into depression, anxiety, negative thinking, just like a heaviness on you. And of course, that's going to affect everything in your life. It's going to affect how you're a mom, it's going to affect how you're a partner, it's going to affect you at your job, with your business, how you feel about yourself, your confidence with yourself. It does such wonders for your mental health and your overall just happiness in life. I often experience a lot of suppressed anger in my body, and that's just from like childhood. And yeah, it's not like I'm walking around with like anger and I'm like an angry person, but anger can show up in a lot of like sneaky ways. And for me, it can show up in me being more irritable. It can show up in me maybe feeling more overwhelmed, in being more emotional. It can show up in me not being able to like self-express myself, voice my emotions, express what I'm feeling. Embodiment dancing can really help to kind of like shake that out of you. And it's not like a final done thing. You have to do it consistently. The rest of the day, I am so happy. I'm peaceful, I'm chatty, I'm able to just express myself. I don't have social anxiety. I feel motivated. I feel just very like exuberant and expressive. So what I do is I look up somatic on YouTube, and I just like go along, it can be anywhere from 5 minutes to 15 minutes or whatever. It doesn't really matter as long as you just like feel whatever you connect to the most. I've had my son join me with dancing before, and it's actually been so healing and so fun, and shake everything out, and it's so powerful to show your kids how to regulate their emotions and how to express things that are like stuck inside of them. Children, they're small, but they have big emotions. It can be really impactful to show them how to move that energy inside of them, how to release certain emotions so that they don't grow up with suppressed anger or that turns into depression or anything like that. So it can just be really healing for everyone overall, and I really, really suggest doing that. Those are my 5 ways that I prioritize wellness every single week as a mom, as a business owner. And so I hope that I provided some new creative ways that you can prioritize yourself and prioritize your own identity every single week. It's really brought me so much more happiness. I'm more present. I'm just overall a happier individual when I prioritize my well-being. You're such a better person. It's going to make you a better mom. It's going to make you a better partner, a better friend, a better business owner, a better employee. It's just going to make you a better, happier, more peaceful and fulfilled individual. If you enjoyed this video, I would love if you would comment or like or share your thoughts on what you really enjoyed, or maybe certain topics that you want me to talk about. And if you enjoyed this channel and you want to see more, it would be so lovely if you subscribed, and I would really appreciate it. So I will see you next time.